But being led by truth requires humility. It requires recognizing a higher authority than oneself. If I am obliged to discover, accept, and conform to what is objectively true, morally, physically, historically, then I am not autonomous. I am not the master of my universe. I am not God. Making an act of humility, which frees us from the exhausting bonds of selfishness, is hard. Our fallen nature tends toward pride, towards self-sufficiency, control, and dominance. To resist that tendency, to obey the truth, and to expose oneself to the truth of God takes courage. In 2008, a Catholic author by the name of Dean Koontz wrote a book, a bestseller of the New York Times, called Your Heart Belongs to Me. Now, this is a gripping, very bizarre story. It follows the health crisis experienced by a youthful multi-millionaire named Ryan. Ryan discovers that he has a congenital heart condition that's going to surely kill him unless he can get a heart transplant. He becomes fearful that he will not survive long enough to reach the top of the donor recipient list that he has signed up on. Ignoring a series of dramatic encounters that warn him to be patient, Ryan panics. He uses his vast wealth to bypass the normal channels, and within a month, he has been given a new heart. But what he doesn't know is that the donor's heart was taken illegally from a political prisoner who was in perfect health. She was euthanized in order to harvest all of her organs. The rest of the book chronicles the tragic unfolding of Ryan's life as the consequences of his sin catch up with him. Dean Koontz sums up the moral of the story like this: the roots of all violence are found in the hatred of the truth. In the novel, Ryan's selfish refusal to face the moral truth of his actions led to the murder of a healthy, innocent woman and transformed his life into a nightmare. In today's gospel, Pilate's refusal to face the truth leads him to condemn an innocent man to death, a deed that will haunt him for the rest of his life. In our lives, it is often those self-centered refusals to take responsibility for the truth that leads us down a slippery slope, destroying relationships, peace of mind, and our friendship with Christ. If we refuse to humbly accept Christ's kingship over our lives, we cut ourselves off from the benefits of being a member of Christ's kingdom. The freedom of Christ's kingdom is an interior freedom, a peace, a strength of soul that only grace can give us. If up to now you haven't experienced it as deeply as you would like, maybe that's because we haven't fully accepted God's truth. Fully accepting the truth, which Pilate refused to do, involves at least three things. First, it means accepting it freshly every single day. Each day, we remain free to decide how we're going to live. And so each day, we have to reaffirm our citizenship in Jesus' kingdom, or else we will slowly drift away from it. Second, accepting the truth means admitting that we need God. If we try to achieve perfect happiness by our own efforts, we will shut ourselves off from God's love. The most direct way to admit that we need God, to allow His love to be part of our lives, is to come regularly to the sacrament of reconciliation. There is simply no better way to acknowledge Christ's kingship over our lives and to acknowledge that the law of his kingdom is mercy. Third, accepting the truth that God is love means striving in our daily lives to love as God loves. Jesus told us the second greatest commandment is to love your neighbor as yourself. When we refuse to forgive, when we refuse to serve, or to treat others as we would want to be treated, we distance ourselves from our God. As we continue in today's solemn celebration of Christ's everlasting kingship, let us thank him for bringing us the truth that will ultimately set us free, and let us ask humbly for the grace to accept that truth every single day of our lives.